Hi, I'm Simon Hooper.
I'm Aaron.
Chris.
I'm Dylan Hewitt.
I think that this year's competition and last year's are very similar, which gives us an advantage in terms of detection, light detection intensities as compared to color detection, which is really inaccurate. We know how to deal with when we find a certain value with the color sensor, how to deal with it depending on what our robot should do. A really big difference, actually the biggest and maybe the only difference between last year, is that this year our robot drives free around a little range, whereas last year was supposed to follow a predetermined track. They both work in similar ways. Last year we were supposed to detect white and black to follow a line. This year we detect white and one of 3 other colors, and then we perform a similar task to last year, dropping a block, placing a block on a target color. The robot works by scanning the field, the board, and then based on a set order of cube colors that we put in at the beginning, it scans for each puck, and then when it finds a puck, it compares the reflected light intensity with a certain range, because the different colors have different ranges of light intensity, and it's all going to be depending on the room that we're in when we're working on it and at the time of presentation. Once it finds the color within the set range, then it will know with quite high certainty, not 100%, but quite high certainty that we found the correct color of the cube in that order. So then what it does is an arm retracts, allowing a block to drop from when it was resting upon the arm down to in front of the end of the arm, and then the arm goes back in, blocking the block on top from falling out and pushing the bottom block out to the front of the robot onto the puck. Another thing was dropping the block. At first we didn't know how we were going to manage that without blocks getting caught, getting stuck, or the blocks coming out at the same time, things not working like they're supposed to, like the dropping arm getting caught, the light sensor dragging the block off the puck when it dropped it. And we fixed most of these issues. The arm dropper getting stuck was fixed by changing the power of the motor, also changing some of the bits connecting the joints to have less friction so that it slides easier. We changed the holder of the block to be tighter so that the blocks aren't loose and floating around and tipping and getting caught. The design hasn't really changed since we've started. The most major difference between this point in time and when we began was the block dropping device. All the mechanics for driving, steering, color sensing, and so on have remained pretty much the same. But initially we had different ideas of how to load the blocks, remove the blocks, etc. and mounting the motor that handled all of that. First we tried with a bunch of gears that were getting caught everywhere. Then we tried with an arm that was getting stuck all the time, and then we tried an arm that was not getting stuck but flying out of the back of the robot, and we tried a way with higher power to combat the friction, which caused the cubes to shoot out the front of the robot. That was an issue. That's been the most challenging bit, was dropping the block, and it's changed the most since we began. Everything else has remained pretty much the same. This year, teamwork played a bigger part than last year. We have less members this year with specialized skills, so at the beginning of the term we assigned roles to different members. People with different skills were to take on certain jobs, whereas everyone kind of worked on those jobs with them at a lesser degree. For instance, we have our member Aaron. He's really into mechanical engineering, and he's had a lot of experience with robotics with Lego, so he took the main role in designing and building the robot, and we assisted him in that. We did what he needed us to. And we have other people who were good at graphic design and preparing, for instance, this video and our display board, and then we have programmers. We've been sharing our ideas and compiling our program. I found this year's competition to be interesting, challenging. It's been a lot of fun building the robot. It's been fun and challenging programming the robot, and I'm looking forward to the competition, looking forward to having a lot of fun seeing other schools' robots and seeing how ours performs.